Warriors of Zao, Warriors of Ziho, you have journeyed a million miles after leaving your homes behind. Do you all know what this place is? This is Zahoji, the land that has been governed for hundreds of years by the people of Shang. It is the richest land in the world, a land of treasures and gold, unknown to us back home. Surely not one of you can even imagine the rare creatures and the curious that a single Shang person here possess. And this land's women, for 10 days and 10 nights, you could carouse and still not have exhausted them. Ha ha! Take it all. All this land, all this and more lies before you. Just a few steps and you can grab it. So what will you do? Take it all. Good. Everything owned by the people of Shang shall be ours tonight. Feng Shenji, the legend and the hero. Pectoral muscle. Plates containing muscle charts. Pectoral muscle, plates 15 to 20. Shoulder muscle, plate 30 to 33. Anterior brachial muscle flexor, plate 56 to 57. Posterior brachial muscle extensor, plate 65. Anterior foramen muscle flexor. Anterior forearm muscle flexor, plates 73, 74. Posterior forearm muscle extensor, plates 80, 81, 85, 87. Thinner muscle of the hand, plate 96, 97. Hypothenar muscle of the hand, plate 98. Dorsal interosseous muscle of the hand, plate 102. Palmar interosseous muscle of the hand, plate 103. Palmar interosseous muscle of the hand, plate 103. Intercostal muscle, plate 143. Subclavian muscle, plate 148. Anterior abdominal wall muscle, plate 225, 227, 230. Posterior abdominal wall muscle and the diaphragm, plate 314. Muscle of the pelvic diaphragm and the urogenital diaphragm, plate 346. Intermediate and deep back muscle, plate 379. Deep muscle of the back continued, plate 380. Muscle of the suboccipital region, plate 385. Anterior muscle of the hip and anterior thighs muscle, plate 426. Medial, lateral, and posterior thigh muscle, plate 427. Muscle of the gluteal region, plate 434. Muscle of the posterior thigh, plate 436. Muscle of the anterior and lateral, plate 448. Muscle of the anterior and lateral compartment of the leg, plate 448. Muscle of the dorsum of the foot, plate 457. Muscle of the posterior compartment, plate 468, 469. Muscle of the posterior compartment of the leg, plate 468, 469. Muscle of the sole of the foot, plate 477. Infraoid muscle of the neck, plate 519. Sternocleidomastoid muscle, plate 520. Muscle of the posterior triangle of the neck, plate 528. Anterior vertebral muscle, plate 542. Muscle of the face and hand, suprayoid, plate 500. Suprayoid, scalp muscle, ear, eyelids, plate 549. Muscle of the face and head, muscle of the nose and mouth, plate 550. Muscle of mastication, plate 555, 556. Schema of extraocular muscle, plate 607. Extrinsic muscle of the tongue, plate 632. Muscle of the palate and pharynx, plate 648. Muscle of the larynx, see notes under figure 653.1 to 653.4 and figure 655.1 to 654.3. Plates 653 to 654. Muscle of the middle ear, plate 657, 663 to 665. Chapter 1. Pectoral region, axilla, shoulder and upper limb. Plate 1. Regions of the body. 2. Surface anatomy of the male body. 3. Surface anatomy of the female body. 4. Superficial dissection of the breast, milk line. 5. Surface anatomy of female thoracic wall, female breast. 6. Breast, nipple and areola, sagittal section. 7. Lymph nodes that drain the breast, lymphangiogram of the axilla. 8. Lymphatic drainage from the breast, medial and lateral mammary arteries. 9. Lateral view of the female breast and a dissected nipple. 10. Dermatomes, anterior, thoracic, segmental nerves. 11. Superficial thoracic and abdominal wall muscle, lateral view. 12. Superficial veins of the anterior trunk, male. 13. Superficial vessel and nerves of the anterior trunk, female. 14. Typical segmental spinal nerves and intercostal artery. 15. Superficial thoracic and abdominal wall muscle. 16. Pectoral region, superficial vessel and cutaneous nerves. 17. Pectoral region, pectoralis major and deltoid muscles. 18. The pectoralis major and minor muscle. 19. Anterior surface of the rib cage. 20. Lateral thoracic wall and superficial axilla. 21. The pectoral muscle intact and reflected serratus anterior muscle. 22. Deltopectoral triangle and the lateral thoracic muscle. 23. Axillary vein and its tributaries. 24. The axillary artery and its branches. 25. The internal thoracic epigastric anastomosis. 26. Dissection of axilla, superficial vessel and nerves. 27. Dissection of axilla, deep vessel and nerves. 28. Arterial supply to the upper extremity. 29. Superficial veins of the upper extremity. 30. Shoulder region, anterior aspect, muscle. 31. Anterior shoulder region, vessel and nerves. Shoulder joint and movement. 32. Shoulder region, posterior aspect, muscle. 33. Posterior shoulder vessel and nerves, abduction of the upper limb. 34. Surface anatomy of the upper limb. 35. Dermatomies of the upper limb. 36. Superficial dissection of the arm, anterior view. 37. Superficial dissection of the arm, posterior view. 38. Blood vessel of the upper limb. 38. Blood vessel of the upper limb. 39. Nerves of the upper limb. 40. Cutaneous superficial nerves of the upper limb. 41. Superficial venous pattern in the upper limb. 42. Surface and skeletal anatomy of the upper limb. 43. Muscle contortions of the upper limb, anterior and posterior views. 44. Muscle of the upper limb, lateral view. 45. Muscle of the upper limb, anterior and posterior view. 46. The brachial plexus and 3 cords. 47. Brachial plexus, root of the origin and general schema. I think Emperor Shang is about to touch shoulder muscle with the gods. Chapter 1. Isolated Rebel. (1046 BC). Emperor Wu of Zhou called upon all the other clans in the world to follow him in a crusade against the men who opposed the gods. Emperor Zhao of Shang. Both sides were engaged in a bloody battle, and the Shang soldier was retreating. With unstoppable might, Zhou soldiers charged through Zhaoji, the capital of Shang. Yeah! Crack. Pew pew pew. Cough. My king, I'm sorry. Cha. thought. Charge! Xiu's soldiers are in the city. Zhao Ji is in trouble. They will steal our property and take our women. This is all the Emperor's fault. Who agrees with me? Yeah, that's right. You deserve to die. We should open all the gates and allow the Zhao soldiers to kill the Emperor. Yeah. Oh, Father, you declare war with the gods because you don't want your people to be slaves, yet they curse you. You are so wrong. Your people enjoy being slaves, so you shouldn't interfere where you are not wanted. It's getting chaotic. I better leave. You!
Of hedonistic impulses for the benefit of the group. Our selfish genes have come to promote reciprocal social behaviors in superorganismal structures, effectively discarding the notion of survival of the fittest. The brain's neural activity resonates most coherently when there is no dissonance between these advanced new cerebral regions and the older, more primitive ones. What we traditionally